Welcome to another reaction video. In this video, we're going to do Grizzly Gaz. And the reason why we're doing Grizzly Gaz is in my previous video, Grizzly Gaz said, do me. So I thought, okay, let's have a quick look at his channel. I scrolled through and I will admit most of his videos are probably not ones that I would watch. What's that noise? What is that? Why did I go back? Am I alone? There's obviously something. Keep quiet. There's obviously something outside, you know, waiting to grab him in the night. He hasn't got that many videos, actually, but incredibly popular. 58,000 subscribers. Like there's something out there going to get me in the night. Oh, I'm too scared. So they're obviously very popular video. Lizzie, we're going to have to do a video like that. Anyway, I scrolled through and one video caught my attention. Killer cows. Now, as viewers of my channel will know, you know, we're kind of interested in old cows. So I watched this video. We'll watch the beginning part. We'll skip through the middle part because it's really just talk, and I can't really react to him talking because I'll put a link below. You can watch it if you want to watch it. Mainly, I'm interested in the cow section, at the end. So without further ado, we will press play. And straight away, there's some grizzly, scary things. Did you see who saw Cocaine Bear?
I'm on my way to the UK's highest beach, according to TripAdvisor, which is somewhere up here. So we're gonna go have a look, see what it's all about, maybe have a wild swim. I've got my backpack with me and we're gonna do a wild camp up there as well. Come on. I know that it looks nice and sunny at the moment, but we've got some dark clouds rolling in, so I need to really get a wiggle on and get up there, because I don't really want to be stopping and putting waterproofs on and stuff just for it to go away, because it's...
I just paused it there. Interesting lead and harness setup. I must admit, I use walking poles and such, and I never bother with a lead or harness or anything. As he does mention in a minute, he's obviously got his dog very well trained, but he just feels more comfortable, you know, putting his dog on a lead, which is, you know, the correct, obviously the correct thing to do.
Don't look like it's going to stop long, but you never know. Probably about halfway up, and it's absolutely stunning views already. You'll probably be able to see Studley Pike up on the distance up there, and that's where, well, if you watch my video, can't speak today, what's going on? And if you watch my videos, or if you've watched my videos in the past, you'll have probably seen that in quite a lot of my videos when I'm yomping about up in hillsides. And that structure up there is called Studley Pike, and it was built and erected after we beat the French in the Napoleonic Wars. So it was erected as sort of a celebration for kicking the French's ass. Yeah. Sorry that you got a close-up of Fendi's bumhole then, or as I like to call it, Aunt Bessie's Yorkshire pudding. I'm having to keep our Fendi on a lead today because there's lots of sheep about with baby lambs and stuff, and although she's well trained and she doesn't have a high prey drive, so to speak, she's a French bulldog, it's always safer to keep your dogs on a lead because you don't want to be stressing them out, do you? Baram you. Well, that didn't work, did it?
Yes, correct. It is probably better to keep your dog on a lead if you feel like you have to. I must admit, like I said, I let Lassie roam free because I trust her enough that she's not going to go running off. But yeah, keep your dog on a lead. You better do the right thing. Don't do what I do. Do the right thing. What I'm going to do is I am just going to skim forward a little bit because I mainly just want the cows. And obviously, like I said, if you want the full video of him talking and walking up, you know, check the link below. We're mainly interested in the cows, and there's really not so much that I can say, you know, about him walking up and everything. Okay, all right. So we're on the beach. So we're going to see what happens regarding cows and Mr. Grizzly Gaz on the beach and what he does.
Well, what do you think? Eh? I suppose it is a beach, and it is really high. Hey, dear. With some lovebirds over there, just chilling out, so I'll wait for them to go. And then maybe we'll go for a dip. Now, I've read that wild swimmers use this for swimming in, so I know it's fairly safe, but I'm only going to go for a little dip anyway. I'm not going swimming in it. Oh, but it's freezing though. And that wind's freezing and all. But I can't come up to the UK's highest beach without having a swim, can I? Come on, let's do it.
He's very brave. I don't think I'd be going in there.
Oh, it's freezing.
We've got a Loch Ness Monster hiding in there somewhere.
Nearly went then. What are you coming in, mate? Come on, mate.
I wonder if this music is copyright protected. If it is, we'll have to edit this section out. I did do a test upload. It took about 12 hours to check restrictions, and as far as I could tell, there are none. So hopefully this music is not copyright protected. Get Lassie, chuck Lassie in there. Lassie will be splashing around.
Hey, yeah. Right. Well, that was fun, wasn't it? Look at that. Coming in. Go on then. Ignoring me now. I need to warm up a bit now.
I liked how he's on the beach talking to the camera and everything, and there's a couple of people sitting on the beach probably thinking, what was he doing talking to a camera? So good on you being brave talking.
So I've been in there for about 3 hours. I think I might get this tent set up. That'll warm me up, won't it?
This is interesting.
Look at that nosy cow there, look.
We're getting to the cows. So there's
David Hasselhoff's here, look.
Someone going swimming again.
Fendi, come here. Come here, Fendi.
Yes. Many cows. They're very inquisitive.
Don't be walking on my tent.
Very, very inquisitive cows.
Looks like cows going for a dip and all. All at it today, aren't we? Jesus Christ, got an herd. Looks like I'm not putting my tent up yet, doesn't it? Huh?
Still got that other couple sitting there. He's trying to put his tent up. There's still a couple there.
Hey, don't be eating my tent. Come on.
They're really, really inquisitive.
They're only babies. Inquisitive. Oh, no, 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 no. Don't be standing on my temples. Shish kebab. Let me put these up here, aren't we? This might be a bad idea, this.
I've had a few cow experiences in my time. I'll tell you a few stories of cows and such like that I've experienced. We use this as a walking pole example. Obviously, it's a selfie stick thing. I think when you got a lot of cows around you, if you've got a walking pole, I think it's really, really, really useful. It just gives you a separation between yourself and cows. So if you're going anywhere where there are cows, I personally would recommend, having a walking pole. As those who watch my very, very early videos will know and remember, I had Bess before Lassie, and she was terrified of cows. She'd run away, and then you'd have a hell of a job getting her back. So what I always did with Bess, and what they don't recommend doing, but what I always did with Bess, because it was the easiest, best thing to do for that particular dog. Every dog's going to be different, of course. Basically, I put her on the lead, and I had two really close experiences with cows around Cheddar. One, we were walking through a field, and it was just full of cows and young and everything else like that. And I kind of tried to go around, try to go around a little bit. And I tried to go around, but there were so many of them, you kind of couldn't. So we kind of ended up going through, and one female cow with her calf walked right up to us, and I stopped, and I kept Bess right next to me because I didn't want her spooking everything, because I just knew that if I let her off, she'd run. Yes, generally speaking, that is the best thing to do, because they're more likely to go after your dog rather than you. So if you're at all unsure as to what to do, let your dog off, and then they will go after the dog and not you. The dog's life is kind of like less important, than ours. I must admit, I've always felt really quite confident with cows, and I just don't really let them bother me or worry me or anything. So I just kept her on the lead and walked through. And like I said, this young cow, she walked up to me, and I stopped, and the cow stopped, and it was like this like Mexican standoff. Anyway, she wouldn't back off, so I just got my pole tip, and I just held it like that in front of me. I didn't move the pole at all. I just held it straight in front of me. She just walked up, and her nose got to within about an inch or two of the tip, and I didn't move. I just stood my ground, and she kind of waited a second, and then she was like, she thought a little bit better of coming any further or anything, and she kind of went around, and that was the end of that experience, basically. And then another experience also with Bess, and this is also, actually no, there was two other experiences that I remember. There was one that was local, where the farmer put some cows on a field, and then there was another one round at Cheddar, and on both occasions they were very young cows, just like these, but even more inquisitive than these, and I wouldn't say aggressive cows, but they were definitely, and a lot more. And I think in this video there's about 10 cows or 12 cows or something like that. I don't think there's a huge number, but in both occasions that I had, there was like a herd. There must have been like 20, 30 plus cows, and they all lined up, and they just started walking towards me, and a bit like the Zulus in like like the Zulus in Zulu. And they were literally just doing that, and I was just backing up very, very slowly, and they just kept walking towards me. Like I said, one walk was very local, and I had no walking pole, and the second time around Cheddar, I had my walking pole, and I just held it in front of me. I can't show it properly here because I've got the room, but I kind of held it in front of me, out straight in front of me like this, a bit like Darth Maul in episode 1 Star Wars. And it was kind of enough. It kind of just makes your profile and your size look bigger, you know, than you really are. So that's just, you know, if you're in, you know, if you're in a situation with a lot of cows and you get into difficulties, don't run, don't scream, don't shout. You can say, you know, back off or shoo, or something like that, you know, but I probably wouldn't say too much. Like less is more. We'll carry on watching this in a second. But like I said, if you've got a walking pole, hold it like this vertically or like this or whatever. You could also, if you're necessary, you know, just hold it, you know, like I said, I can't show, you know, properly in here, but just hold it like that. But don't prod. It's not a sword, you know, you don't move it. You just hold it in front of you so that if they did run towards you, then they're going to run into the tip rather than you, and that shock might very well be enough to back them. I've never had that problem. I've never had it happen, so I don't actually know what would happen. But a walking pole is very, very useful just to make yourself a little bit bigger. Let's carry on watching.
Job. First time you've heard Fendi bark, isn't it? Mate, don't be coming over here. Come on. Come on, it's not grass. I'm gonna have to pack my tent away for now, aren't I? While he's due for his do one. Hey, come on, mate. Come on, chill out. You'll be getting swift headbutts if you don't. Go on. Yep. Not bothered, mate, are they? Look at them. They're all inquisitive about my tent. I'm going to have to pack it up. Right, I'm going to have to record this in case I die. Get eaten by mad cows. Come on, it's not that exciting. What?
I'd like to know whether he was actually... Was he, you know, because he ends up packing up and going.
Ooh, please don't blow away.
I'd like to know what setup he was going to use on that stand. Was he going to use a footprint?
There, look.
He's still got that couple.
They're all over the place now, look.
Still got that couple over there. And the swimmer coming down. It's a very public place.
Fendi, leave it. Jesus Christ, we're surrounded. Come on, do one. Go on, hip, 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 hip. Go on, go do what you got to do. Come up here for a relaxing time. Not happening, is it?
I think what I think going hip hip's fine. I don't really see any major calamity with that. I probably wouldn't have done that. His dog's incredibly well behaved. Lassie would be quite nervous. She'd be wanting to bark. To be honest, I'd probably be wanting to try and get the tent up to get Lassie into the tent. But I think it would be quite difficult in that situation when they're getting, you know, so close to you. Maybe get up that bank behind you and away from them that way, just so you put some separation between you and the cows, but without, like, you know, giving up the beach entirely. So I probably would have got Lassie up the side of that dam or whatever it is on the left. I probably would have gone up there.
Fendi, come here.
1 hour later.
All just staring at me. We're going to be at camp here or what? Or we're going to get trampled to death in the middle at night. Fendi's shaking like mad. All right, mate. It's all right. I won't let him get you.
I'm trying to work out where that's I think it's right on the very, very top. I'm just fascinated at how many people there are. It's really quite a popular, I must admit, from a camping spot, I must admit, I wouldn't want to be going there and camping myself when you've got people literally sitting down on the beach and people coming down to swim. I probably would, I'm sure I'd be aiming to, you know, to camp. I should be aiming to camp on this spot.
And they stay there. I ain't got no fear. You know, you just...
Good. Yeah, haven't got any fear. Good. Very, very good. Yeah, just stand your ground. Better just guard your spot. Maybe just back off a little bit, but yeah, no fear. Don't run. Don't scream and shout. Don't panic. Just, you know, he's doing a pretty decent job, to be fair.
Having a good old sniff and that. Don't be eating me bag. Come on. All my shoes. Your eyes are proper creepy, aren't they? Hey, get off my temples. Get out of it. It's picking its nose at my temples, look. What are you doing? Oh, don't be... Oh, do you see that then? Don't give over, man. You're slobbering all over my bag.
2,000 years later.
He's kind of like joking 2,000 years later, but it's probably just a few minutes later. I don't think much. I'd like to know actually how much time they were there. I mean, that sun is obviously going down. Can't be much more than half an hour, 45 minutes.
I'm only in my boxer shorts as well, in my little fryer tuck thingy. Can't you find some grass somewhere? Come on. Right, I'm gonna have to... All right, mate. All right. All right. I'm gonna have to do one from here for a bit. See if they bugger off. All right, let me get dressed.
Yeah, the cows up the top, they're right up high, aren't they? So I think in this instance, I would probably just get halfway up that wall and then they would just give up because there's not something there for them to be, you know, so interested in. Let's carry on for the minute.
Hey, come on. Hey. Come on. Well, they're still hanging about.
Looks like they've actually pretty much left now. That's probably the very last one there, and you probably won't even see them again.
I really want to camp out because last time I bailed, didn't I? I don't want to bail this time, but I also want to be safe and all. I don't want to get flattened by a cow in the middle of the night.
To be fair, I think the chances of getting flattened by a cow in the middle of the night probably is very, very remote. I would have stayed. I wouldn't have gone. I would have waited for them to. Let's just make sure that he does go. Let's just carry on watching, and then we'll carry on. I'll talk some more.
I'll hang on for an hour and see if they go, but if they don't go, then I'm off.
12 seconds later.
I've shut it.
Okay, so obviously he's decided that he's going to pack it in and head back. Okay. Personally, I wouldn't have packed it in. I would have stayed. It looks like at that point the cows had pretty much shifted. I think they would get bored after a while. Again, I don't know how long he was on the beach for. I couldn't have been more than an hour. The experience that I've had of camping, and I've had cows, I've had tents, duramids, super mids, all sorts of different things up. And I've had cows come right over on Dartmoor, right over to the door. yeah, I've had them surround me. I've been in tarps, I've been in everything, and they've never ever once stood on me, trampled me, or done anything. They get very close. I have had I have had Lassie with me, and I get her into the tent because, like I said, it's possible that she could end up, you know, running out and maybe barking at them. So I get her into the tent, out the way, so you reduce that danger. And that, you know, they basically just leave you alone. They're not going to do anything. If they do get too close to you, as they have done on a couple of occasions, then, like I said, I tend to just go shoo, or maybe just get your walking pole and then just walk slowly towards them. Don't run and panic them. The last thing you want is, you know, is for the cows to panic and do a stampede everywhere. So he did a pretty good job there. I probably would have just left them at the end. That's the only main thing. But once I've got someone I'm going to camp, it would literally take, well, in fact, even if Godzilla came out of the sea, you know, I would probably say to Godzilla, look, this is where I'm camping here. I'm camping here. If you want to come out of the sea, you can either go that way or you can go over that way. And Grizzly Gaz can make a video of you nearly trampling his tent over that way. But I'm staying here and I'm not moving. And it will literally take a Chris Townsend to shuffle me off a camp in the middle of the night. So, which happened the other day. I'll try and put a link to that and a live stream about that within this video. Check out those. And I'll also try and put a link in the video of a camp that I had on Dartmoor, where I got to Dartmoor. It was dark. I walked to exactly where I wanted to camp, and the entire area of where I wanted to camp, it was full of cows. Just as far as you could see, I was shining my torch around, and there was just like loads and loads. There must have been 40 or 50 of them. There was loads of them. Stupidly, I didn't film it at the very beginning. It was a bit more later on when I started to film, but I thought, well, I'm here, I'm camping here, and I'm not moving. And I basically, because they were getting very, very, very close to me, within touching distance of my hand, and I had a walking pole to hand as well. But again, I never needed to use it. It's just there just in case. But if you're having to use it, it's probably too late by that time anyway. It just literally just gives you a barrier between yourself and them and just makes you look a little bit more imposing. And I probably waited about half an hour, and then they got a little bit close. And what I tend to do when they get a little bit too close is either go shoo, or something like that. You really don't want to be doing too much, or just very slowly and calmly just take a few steps towards them, and then they will probably back up. Because, you know, those cows, the cows here were incredibly calm and tame. He was stroking the bloody things. But generally speaking, you know, they will back off from you. Just don't go running and shouting and screaming and doing any of those types of things like that. You just want to keep it really, really calm, because they are very inquisitive. They will come over, but they will get bored and they will move on. And the chances of them coming back in the night, it's incredibly slim. I think he could easily have stayed there the night, and I think it's highly unlikely that they would have come back, because they've done their looking around, they've done their sniffing and all that stuff. And the experience that I've had of cows, they come over, they have a nose, and then they go. And I've camped in the same place for several days on Dartmoor, and they've come over once, and then after that they just give the entire area a wide berth, probably until I go, and then they're probably back over again. So, you know, my main advice on this is just stick your ground. Maybe get away from them if you can, but without running away. Don't spook them. Keep your dog on a lead if it is safe to do so. Otherwise, I would let your dog off the lead, because better they chase the cows chase the dog rather than you. But that's a personal that's a very personal thing. You know, everybody will be different. Every dog will be different in that regard. If your tent's pitched and they start coming over, I probably wouldn't be chasing them off too much. I think the best thing to do is either stay in the tent, and I think it's unlikely that they will do anything to the tent. I've had them come very, very close to the tent, and they've never tripped over any guy lines. They've never caused any damage. They've never done anything. I have had them get to within a few feet of the door, very close a few times, and it is quite nerve-wracking. But again, I think your best bet, if you can, and if you're kind of like brave enough, is to get out of your tent and just stand next to the tent, so that you have the tent structure and you as like an imposing force, as it were. And again, I don't think they're very likely to do anything. I wouldn't be collapsing the tent down. I wouldn't be doing anything like that when they're so close, because if you turn your back on them or anything like that, then your movements and everything else could maybe, probably unlikely, but you know, could maybe trigger a reaction. So again, I would be staying my ground and just not moving. If you've got family, I would get them in the tent, you know, if you feel safe enough to do that. If you're on tours or there's somewhere where they can go to get away from the cows, then obviously maybe get them on some rocks or out the way or something like that. Or if they're not too nervous, maybe if you feel the cows might charge the tent, which I think is incredibly unlikely, maybe just get them outside of the tent, so if anything does happen, then you know there is a chance they can get away. But I think the best thing to do would be to have everybody and everything in the tent, and if you're a bloke, just stand at the entrance of the tent and just stand there, and they will eventually move. Try not to panic. Try not to do any sudden movements. Just try not to really do very much at all. Just stand there and wait. And if you have to stand there half an hour until they all bugger off, then just do that, and they will eventually go. And you're not really going to have a problem. So that's my suggestion. I most definitely would have stayed. I would never have, those cows were never going to get me to move. I would have waited. They went, and then I would have pitched my tent, and I would definitely have stayed and had the night there or somewhere. I don't know about on that beach, but somewhere there.
I aren't stopping there tonight. If they come back during night, trip up over my tent, or even just stand on it, on me or Fenzo, we're dead, aren't we? Or broken ribs at least. Might put a clickbait title on, you know, attacked by cows at the UK's highest beach. You know, I was just going to come up for a swim, you know, but I thought, no, you deserve a camp, because I bailed on my last one. I'm going to turn this channel into a non-wild camping channel, because I don't even camp anymore, do I? Sorry, guys. Anyway, if you like the video, give us a thumbs up, won't you? Thanks for watching.
Okay, interesting video. Like I said, his videos are very, very sort of, you know, chatty, very well edited, very well put together. Many people will enjoy his videos. They're different to what I do. Oh, thank you. I just saw cows, and I was kind of just interested to give Lassie, kind of just interested to give my thoughts and feelings on cows and camping and such like. And I don't think for 1 second that they would have come back in the night. I think it's very, very unlikely. And I really don't think they would have trampled or done anything to his tent or anything like that. But as he says, it certainly makes for an interesting killer cows. And I think I did a killer cow thing. I'll have a look, see if I can find my video. Anyway, it's just something a little bit different. I think with these reaction videos, these types of videos, they're more difficult to react too. I think, like, you know, tips and that type of video is just, you know, is an easier thing to talk about and have thoughts on. But the cows is something that I'm kind of interested in, so I thought we'd hello, we thought we'd say something about the cows, and, you know, not to worry about them too much, and just be a bit, you know. Oh, thank you, that's very nice. Oh, thank you. I always wanted my nose sandpaper. Thank you. See. Oh, kiss. Anyway, until the next video of whatever it is we do, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button to all, and I will see you in the next video.